I'm Diane Palmer. I live in Ketchikan, and I'm a CPA accountant during the day, and I like to do art and wearable art at night. This will be my 30th year. So it'll be my 30th piece in the Wearable Art Show. When we first started, it was at the Main Street Theater, the little black box theater that's at the old Redmond's Hall. And it was very small. You know, we could only get about 60 people in. And the models would wear the piece, and then they would run and take it off, and we'd put it on a mannequin and set up the gallery. And so we had this revolving show, and at the end of the show, then the gallery was all set up, and the guests would mingle afterwards and look at all the pieces up close. And as it grew, it got too big, so then it moved up to the Civic Center, and now it's, you know, even bigger than it was.
What's great about wearable for me, I was always mostly two-dimensional paintings or whatever. This medium is, well, bizarre if you really want to get down to it. All of a sudden, and for me, that's something that's really a wonderful challenge, I guess, is trying to not only make something that's three-dimensional, but then you're also adding time. It moves. It has a time element and movement. So thinking about all of those things together is a wonderful, interesting challenge for me. One of the things I like about it.
This is going to be all the underneath layers for the gala piece, which will be the third piece to come out. So this is sort of the evening piece, and this will be layers and layers and layers of this underneath.
Paint cloth.
With the rain jacket kind of going over it.
Where did that go? Yeah, that's down over here. So this will be Hannah's piece with the ball gown.
So all of this
will
get
eventually
pleated and gathered
under here.
Like so, and then it'll go right under.
And then she has a nice dramatic hood. And you can see it's waiting for final fittings and everything for when it's ready. But yeah, the hood, and then she'll have a nice dramatic with hopefully a bit of a train on it. But we shall see. And then I'm creating purses that go with each outfit out of, I figured if it's rain gear, it's rain appropriate. It's PVC pipe cut in half, and then they'll be made into purses. And this was just an old jacket that I covered them with. And so everyone will have a little bag, and then there'll be jewelry.
And sometimes the community doesn't think of, people don't think of themselves as artists. Sometimes the wearable artists don't think of themselves as artists, but they are, and they're creating these glorious pieces of art that are expressive and passionate and fun, and they speak to their friends and family, and that always is really meaningful for me. It really makes wearables special.
Go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, okay. Again from the beginning.
I've been working on the piece since, when was that, October? Before I even knew if I had it or not. Because I was like, I'm really into this, so even if we don't get to do it at Wearable, maybe we can do it in a different performance, and I'll just reshape it so that it fits on a stage versus a runway. And so I just took my 3 highest levels of dancers and put them all in a big, ginormous, crazy piece together. There's so much happening in this dance. I'm really excited. They have like big poles with fabric that goes all the way to the floor, and one side's black and one side's gold, and they do all this crazy stuff with it, and they do lifts, and they're like holding the fabric, and they're gonna walk all the way down the runway in a lift. I'm like kind of nervous to see how that's gonna work out. I hope we don't hit people in the face with the fabric. We'll see. But yeah, it's been so fun to do. It's definitely very time consuming because it's something I kind of have to do outside of my normal KTB work, but it's so worth it. It's so fun to be a part of Wearable in that aspect.
I keep all my hats. One day they'll find me, I'll just be in my house, death by hats or something, But I do have all my hats still because I feel that I put a lot of work into those, and those are what drive the piece. Those are, to me, what starts the piece. we've
Somebody
always.
asked me that recently about your hats, and I said, I think she keeps all of them.
Yeah,
And you're
I
like,
do.
Really?
I have a lot of hats.
I will spend 200 hours on a piece. And then the question is, what do you do with it afterwards? I throw them away. You have to learn to let go, because this one's been in my garage, but it will probably get thrown away very shortly because there's just no place to put them. You gotta make it for the enjoyment of the moment and then let it go.
I would just encourage everyone to get involved in it if they can, in some facet, any way that you can possibly be involved, even if it's just being backstage to help people. I think that any way you can get involved in Wearable, you should, because it's just such an amazing thing to be backstage with all of those costumes and all the people. The energy is just amazing.
The camaraderie that's built up over the year in this town there's people that have been doing it for years, and to see young kids modeling stuff, and then 5 years later they're making their pieces and they're doing beautiful work, and it's just like a little family.
You go out there, you're nervous, you're putting your heart, your soul, your creation out there. It's nerve-wracking, it really is. You're scared, but if you just are smiling and having a good time and interacting with the audience, they're having a great time. I've never seen people happier. It's so much fun.